Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel or welcome here. If you are new, I'm Manganet and on today's video we're here to talk everything about the ultimate reading competition, also known as the Mangalipa Mania. If you are new here to the channel and you have arrived here because of this competition, then please take a second to subscribe to the channel down below and also ring the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Also don't forget to like and comment on this video to help the channel grow. This year is the second edition of the Mangalipa Mania competition, an ultimate reading competition that was created by me and Philippa Books last year. It started by being just this silly game between the two of us in March 2020, where we were competing to see who could read the biggest number of pages within 1 month from a set TBR that was all the books we had in common. What we didn't expect when we first created that competition was that so many of you would actually want to be a part of it and participate in the games with us. And so, in April 2020, we created the first edition of the Mangalipa Mania, which was basically the same concept, competing to see who could read the biggest number of pages, but this time it was opened to everyone and the people were divided within two teams, Team Manga and Team Lipa. Last year we had over 160 people joining us in the madness. We were completely caught out of the blue. We were not expecting so many people to want to join, but it happened, and the feedback that we got from you was so fantastic. You all loved it, and along the months between April last year and today, you've been asking over and over again to please make this happen again, bring the ultimate competition back, and you wanted a second edition, so here we are. At this time, the sign-ups for the competition are already closed. What we didn't expect, once again, was that we would reach the 200 sign-ups within 6 hours. Less than 6 hours, and we reached the maximum limit of participants that were available to have in this competition this year. So thank you so much for all of you, for all your enthusiasm, for sharing with your friends. Everyone was sharing it on their Instagram stories on how they had signing up. You brought friends and cousins and uncles and aunties. You brought your whole family along to join you on this crazy madness, and so thank you so much, because this competition would not be anything without you. There is certain people that are joining us from last year. We like to call those the veterans. You've already done this once. You've already competed for 2 weeks straight to challenge yourself to read the biggest number of pages. But there is still a lot of you guys that are joining us this year for the first time. So if this is your first time joining the Mangalipa Mania competition, welcome. I hope you are ready to have fun. I hope you are ready to read a lot, to smash your TBR, and most importantly, to meet new people, fellow readers, create new friendships, and just have a lot of fun. This year, the ultimate reading competition is going to be happening between the 10th and the 23rd of March. It's a whole 2 weeks, 14 days, Monday to Sunday, where we are going to be challenging ourselves to read the biggest number of pages possible. That is the ultimate goal of this competition, is to read a lot. And for that, you are going to have to keep track of your pages. Then there is going to be, like last year, 2 teams. Team Manga, led by me, and Team Lipa, led by Philippa. This year there is going to be, including us, 101 participants in each team. That is absolutely crazy. Oh my god, 101 participants in each team. Now let's talk about rules. And this can get a bit redundant for all of you that participated last year and you already know the base rules, but if you are new, then pay close attention so you know what you have to do during these 2 weeks. Every day we are going to be reading from whoever TBR you want. There is no rules regarding that. You can read whatever kind of books you want, physically books, audiobooks, whatever. But every day you are going to have a daily challenge that you need to accomplish, and you are going to have to keep track of how many pages you read each day. Your total of pages of each day is going to contribute for the total pages of your team, Team Manga or Team Lipa. And by now you already received an email that lets you know which team you are being part of. After this video, you are going to receive another email that is going to have more information and more links and things that you are going to need to use for this competition. One of the new things that we created for this year's edition of the Mangalipa Mania competition is that we asked you guys to create 2 jars and 26 papers. And a lot of you guys were wondering, why 2 jars? Why 26 papers? What is this? Because we're only taking 1 challenge every day, so it should be 14 or just slightly above, which is what we usually do. But this year we are going with 26 papers. Today I'm finally going to reveal to you what this is about and what you are going to write in each paper. One of the jars you are going to do, and you can use a mug, a jar, a box, whatever you want, one of them is going to be your classic challenge jar, where you are going to have all the challenges that are in the loop, and every night in the evening you are going to take one challenge for the following day. You need to take the first challenge on the 9th because that's the first day before the competition, and you always need to take the challenge before the day starts so that the following day you know exactly what you are doing. The challenges for this year are all written down in the description down below, and you will see that some of them are obviously very similar or the same as last year, but we also have some new things, so some of the challenges are new. I'm now going to explain every single challenge in detail to make sure everyone is in the same page, so everyone knows exactly what are the rules of each challenge. So let's get started. Read exactly double of yesterday's pages. This one is very self-explanatory. Whatever number of pages you read the previous day, you need to read exactly that same number. Let's say you read 100 pages, you need to read exactly 200 pages. Not less, not more. Read 2 books at the same time, alternating chapters. That means that you need to pick 2 books to read, and you need to read 1 chapter of one, and once you finish that chapter you need to read the chapter of the other, and keep jumping back and forth reading 1 chapter of each throughout the whole day. You can never read more than 1 chapter in a go from one book without jumping to the next one. You always need to alternate between the chapters of both books. Start a new book, obviously, and finish a book, obviously. No reading. In this day you cannot read a single page. If you do, not only that page is not going to count towards your daily total, but also you are going to lose your penalty points, beating last year's average page count for that specific day. This is a very exciting challenge, and it's going to be very difficult to accomplish, I think. But basically, because we already did this competition last year and we still had the tables from each team, what we did was we calculated the average for each day, for day 1, day 2, day 3, etc. The average for each team, how many pages everyone in the team read on average, and we did that for all the 14 days. So if you get this challenge, you need to go check that table. It's going to be available for you in the Excel spreadsheet. You go check that table. If you get this challenge, let's say for day 7 of the competition, you go to day 7 of the competition last year, you see what's the number that your team read on average last year, so let's say 327, and you need to read at least that amount of pages. Read at least X amount of chapters based on yesterday's pages. So for this, you are gonna grab the number of pages that you read the previous day, let's call it 100. You're gonna add all the digits together. In this case would be 1 plus 0 plus 0. It would be equal to 1, which means you need to read at least 1 chapter. You can read more if you want, but you need to read at least that number. If your number adds up to 10, 11, 12, etc., you add again, so you always have a number between 1 and 9. Then we have the early bird and the night owl. In these challenges, you can only read during the day or during the night, depending on which challenge you got. Randomly select a new book to start reading. For this one, you need to make a list of at least 5 books, but you can include as many as you want, as long as it's at least 5 different titles. And then you're gonna go on a random number generator. You're gonna generate a number between 1 and whatever amount of books is selected, and the number that equivalates to is going to be the book that you need to start reading on that day. Restart the jar. I'm so excited about this challenge. I think it's going to be so fun. So basically, every day when you take a challenge, I recommend that you either write down which challenge you got or just keep the paper itself to the side. And if you get this challenge of restarting the jar, what you have to do is that you're going to pick up every single challenge that you already took, regardless if we are on day 2 or day 14 of the competition. You're gonna get every single challenge that you already took. You're gonna fold them again, or write them in new papers if you threw them away. But fold them again, throw everything in the jar again, give it a shake, and take the challenge for the next day. So basically, if you get this challenge, you still need a challenge for the next day, but everything goes back to 0 and all the challenges are in there again. Read with friends. In this day, you need to read with your friends. 1 friend or 20 friends, it doesn't matter, but it's a challenge that it's supposed to force you to connect with the other participants. Doesn't matter if they are on the same team or on the opposite team. You can meet over Zoom, Discord, Skype, whatever you want, Instagram. Just make a video call and read with your friends. And again, you can read as many pages as you want from whatever book you want, but read while someone else is also reading. Read at least 1 hour in one go. For this challenge, you need to set a timer for 1 hour and you start reading. You cannot be interrupted by anything, anyone, any reason. Every time you get interrupted, you need to reset the timer for 1 hour and start again. You can attempt as many times as you want. You can give it a go as many times as you want until you are able to read uninterrupted for 1 hour straight. And then the last two papers are going to be blank, which means for that day there is no challenge. You can do whatever you want, read as much or as little as you want, and there is no penalty because there's no possibility to lose the challenge. Like I said, you need to get these challenges the evening before. The challenges are always referring to the following day, and so you have 24 hours to accomplish all of them the following day. If you don't manage to complete a challenge for one reason or the other, you are going to lose pages. So you just deduct that from your daily total. These are the main challenges that you are going to have in your main jar. Like I said, these challenges are written down below in the description, so now that you know what they mean, just go ahead, write one in each paper, leave two papers blank, fold everything up and put it in your jar. Now, I'm sure you are wondering, alright Manganet, so that ticks off one jar and 16 papers. What about the second jar and the other 10 papers? What are they for and what are we doing with them? So, this is a brand new thing and I'm very happy with this. I think it's going to be super duper fun. So this second pot is going to be called I'm Feeling Lucky jar. It will have 10 papers in there. Don't confuse the two jars. The first jar, it's mandatory. You must take a paper every single evening for the following day. No excuses, whatever happens, you must keep taking papers, one every single day. Now, the I'm Feeling Lucky jar only has 10 papers. You can take up to one paper per day, no more than one per day, but you only take it if you want. You cannot do it every day because obviously there's only 10 and not 14. You can take one paper in total throughout the whole competition, or you can take all 10 of them. It's up to you. There's no mandatory rules for this. It's up to you how often you want to use it. Just remember that you can only take one paper per day. Now, unlike the main jar, where you take one paper in the evening and it's regarding the following day and the challenge that you need to accomplish the following day, on the I'm Feeling Lucky jar, the challenge is taken in the evening as well, but it's regarding the same day. After you know the total of pages you read that day, you might decide to go, you're feeling lucky, you want to increase your odds, you go into the I'm Feeling Lucky jar and you try your best, and that paper will affect whatever is happening in that day, whatever already happened, I must say. So what is inside this I'm Feeling Lucky jar? Most of the things are positive, but if you are unlucky enough to get the ones that are negative, they are terrible. But most of them are positive, so it's up to you if you want to take a bet or not. The first paper you're gonna have in there is to grab the total number of pages you read that day and times it by 3, which means that if you read 100 pages on that day, you will count with 300 instead of 100. 3 of those papers will give you 30 extra pages. Whatever the total is, you just add 30 to that total. One of the papers will add you 5 pages. One of the papers will not do absolutely anything. It just means you are not lucky that day. One of the challenges will mirror your points. This can be good or bad, but basically it will turn negative pages into positive pages, but it will also turn positive pages into negative pages. So let's say you had a really bad day and you didn't read anything and you also didn't accomplish your challenge. Your total for that day is, so you might try and go into this jar, and if you get this mirror challenge, those will turn into. However, if you read 800 pages in one day and you get this challenge, you will lose 800 pages. So be careful. Another paper in there will be to not count any of the pages of that day. You will make your total for the day be 0. If you get this challenge, you're not going to count with not even one page, just 0. You get this challenge and immediately your total of the day is 0. And then the last 2 papers inside the I'm Feeling Lucky pot are 2 extra lifelines. But before I tell you which are these lifelines, the extra ones, I need to tell you what are the ones that everyone has straight away. So throughout the whole competition, you will have 2 lifelines that you can use whenever you want, and they are to help you get through the competition. Those lifelines are put a hold on the challenge. So when you pick a challenge from the jar, if you don't think you can do it the next day, you can just hold it. You won't have any challenge for the following day, but you need to accomplish that challenge at some point. Up until the last day of the competition, you need to do it. And you will need to do it in addition to whatever challenge you draw on the day that you decide to do it. You don't need to decide which day you are going to do it straight away. You can just decide just to hold the challenge, and later on, when you are feeling like it's a good day to try that challenge, you do it then. So you don't need to decide the day straight away. The second lifeline is you put that challenge that you don't want to do, you fold it back in, you put it again inside the pot, give it a little shake, and you pick a new challenge up. So you still have a challenge for the next day, it's just going to be a different challenge. Or maybe not, maybe you are so unlucky that you pick the same challenge again, who knows. These lifelines can only be used once. Each participant has their own lifelines and you are the one who decides when to use it, but you can only use it once each. So once you've used it, they're gone. If you remember, I said that inside the Feeling Lucky jar, you will have 2 extra lifelines. You don't need to use that lifeline straight away. You can just keep it like if it was a get out of jail free card in Monopoly. You just keep it and you use it whenever you want. Inside the Feeling Lucky jar, you will have a lifeline to skip the challenge altogether, just ignore it. And if you have that lifeline already out, you can use it whatever you're feeling. So a day that you don't want to do the challenge the other day, you just use that lifeline, again can only be used once, and you ignore the challenge for the next day, and in the next day there will be no challenge. And the second lifeline that you can pick out of the lucky jar is best out of 3. So if you decide to use this lifeline, what you're going to do is that on the day that you want to use it, instead of taking just 1 challenge out of the challenge jar, you are going to take 3. You are going to look at the 3 of them, choose between those 3 which one you want to keep for the next day, and then fold the other 2 and throw them back in the jar. And again, you can only use this lifeline once. There you go. These are the 2 jars that we are going to have this year. The regular jar that you need to take a paper every single evening regarding the following day, mandatory. And the I'm Feeling Lucky jar, not mandatory. Use it if you want. If you don't want, don't use it. Whatever it's written is regarding the day that you took the challenge out. So it affects the daily pages of that day, the ones that already happened. Except if you get the lifelines, those you just keep it and you use them whenever you want. Now, regarding what books you can read, like I mentioned in the beginning, you can read whatever genre you want and whatever format you want. There is only one rule, which we had last year as well, which is books with squares, graphic novels, comic books, manga, picture books, children books, everything is valid, except if that's the case, you only count half of the pages to keep it fair regarding how long it takes to read a graphic novel versus how long it takes to read a normal book that is not a graphic novel. The total of each individual member will contribute to the total of their team, obviously, just like it happened last year. And that number, the total of each team, is going to be revealed on mine and Filipa's vlogs. We are going to make 2 vlogs, one for each week, and we are going to publish them as soon as possible after the first week is finished and then after the second week is finished. And there is going to be where you are going to see the total for the opposite team. The way it's gonna work, it's going to be exactly the same as last year, where we put both vlogs on premiere in YouTube. Me and my team will go and watch Filipa's vlog and find out how her team is doing, and Filipa and her team are gonna come and watch my vlog and find out how the team manga is doing. The dates for those vlogs, we haven't set them yet, but as soon as we know when they are coming out, we will announce in the group chat. We will announce them on our Instagrams as well. So make sure you are paying close attention to our Instagrams. Also, because throughout the competition there is little things that are going to happen, and those are going to be announced on our Instagram pages. So if you haven't followed those yet, please go and do so. One of the other new things that we have this year is we have our merch. We have t-shirts, we have mugs, we have tote bags, we have stickers, we have quite a lot of merch. We have designs that are general for both teams, we have our logo in there, we have to-do lists and things, but we also have team designs, and they are available in a bunch of different items. If you haven't checked out our merch shop yet, please go and do it. The link is down there in the description. And this is not only a way of showing your love and your excitement for the Mangalipa Mania competition and how you're happy to be part of this whole event and your team, but it's also a way of contributing to mine and Filipa's work. And so if you haven't done it yet, go and check out our merch shop. Everything ships from Germany, so if you are within the European Union, there will be no extra taxes for customs or anything, because everything is coming from inside the European Union. A lot of you guys have already ordered them. I get shocked every time I log into the store and I see the amount of sales we have already. It's crazy, and I cannot wait to start seeing your unboxings and start seeing you guys wearing the t-shirts and drinking tea and coffee out of your own mugs. Or you can use the mugs for the jar, the challenge jar, or the I'm feeling lucky jar. I don't know, I'm excited. I'm super excited for you guys to start receiving your merch. The items are super high quality. The t-shirt, it's so soft. I'm excited. So if you haven't bought your merch yet, please do so. Support the Mangalipa competition and show your love for this whole event. Lastly, you are going to receive one more email from me and one from Filipa, depending on which teams you are. And in that email, there is going to be some extra information. And as well, there is going to be the links for the group chat. This year we are having group chats on Discord. That's where you go if you want to chat with someone, if you have the challenge to read with someone, and you can go in there and ask if anyone wants to read. If you want to do a little reading session, go in there. You can turn on your cameras or just your mics or just text, whatever. That's where the teams are going to be united, and that's where you are going to meet new people and make new friends and all the excitement that comes from this competition. In that email as well, you are going to have a link for the Excel spreadsheet for the total pages of your team. This Excel is going to be very similar to last year. There is going to be an individual table for each participant. It's going to have your name and the photo that you provided on the sign up form. They are in alphabetical order, so they are easier to find. And in there, every day you go in the evening, you type what challenge you got for the following day, and you type how many pages you read for that day, so we can keep track of the whole team, and then it automatically adds up to the total of the whole team, and it's amazing. And if you have any challenges that deducted pages, if you lost a challenge, or if you got any challenge that added some extra pages, or whatever it is, just make sure you add all that in before you put in the number. So let's say you read 100 pages, but then you got the challenge of ×3 on those points. Instead of writing 100 pages on your table, just write 300 straight away, so that it doesn't mess up with the math of the whole game and everyone's on the same page. So just make sure that the number that you write down is the final number for that day for yourself. Oh, in that spreadsheet, there's also going to be different pages at the bottom. So the first one is going to be where all the individual tables are. You are going to see mine and Filipa in there as well. And then at the bottom, you are going to have a page where you can check the averages of pages for each day of last year. That's for that challenge of beat the average of last year. So you go into that table and you can check it. You are also going to have a page where every time you finish a book, you go in there, you type the title of the book, the author, your name, and your star rating of that book. That's just a fun way for us to see at the end of the competition how many books got finished and what's the average rating and all that. We did that last year and it was super fun. So this year we are bringing that page again. If you DNF the book, still put it there, just write on the star rating that you DNF'd it. You are also going to have yet another page where it's going to be the stats for this year. So at the end is going to look like the stats that we are using from last year, but now it's still in progress, obviously, where there is going to be the average of each day and a nice graph and all the things. Just go and explore. And also on the Excel spreadsheet, there is going to be another page. There is going to be the social media sharing. So if you are participating and you have an Instagram page or a YouTube page or whatever it is, you can go in there, type in your name, and you can leave the links for your platforms. So we all get to know each other and we all get to follow each other and subscribe to all the channels and all the things. And then there is also going to be another one where you can put the links for your YouTube vlogs for all those of you that are going to be vlogging. And I hope it's a lot of you. Last year, a lot of people made vlogs and they were so fun to watch. So if you are making vlogs as well, you can share the link for that vlog directly on the Excel spreadsheet. And then the magic is born. This is very exciting. All right, guys, I think this is it. These are the main rules. I know it's a lot to take in. Everything is going to be written down below in the description of this video. Go check out Filipa's welcome video as well, because I'm sure there will be some things that I didn't cover and she did. You know, we're not the same person, so we talk about different things. So go check out her video for sure. Don't forget to please subscribe to both of our YouTube channels. If you haven't already, it's the big red button below the video. Go click it, it's free. It's how you help our channels grow. So if you haven't done it yet, go right now, scroll down to the video, click the red button and then click the like, and then leave a comment down below, because that helps the engagement of the YouTube algorithm. So leave a comment in both of our videos. And that's it, guys. Let's get this Mangalipa Mania 2021 edition rolling and look forward to receiving the emails later today. Bye!